Hey ladies, today is Wednesday and I wanted to do something a little bit different today. Um I wanted to pick out a wise woman from the Bible, and as I was studying, the Lord placed Abigail on my heart. So I won't read the whole passage because I do want to keep the message still to the minimum, but it is from 1 Samuel 25, and I'll just give you a quick overview of what's going on here. So here we have Abigail, who is married to Nabal, and verse 3 says, the man's name was Nabal, and his wife Abigail was a sensible and beautiful woman. But Nabal, a descendant of Caleb, was cruel and mean in all his dealings. So basically, David sends a message to Nabal because they've been good to Nabal's family, I guess, working for them. And so David sends and asks him in verse 8, would he share some of his provisions that he have, because Nabal was very, very wealthy. But Nabal was like, no, who you think you are, David? Like, I ain't sharing my bread and my water with you. So that angered David once the message got back out to him, and then he wanted to send his boys, send his men to kind of like retaliate. So back on Abigail, one of the servants comes and tells Abigail like everything that's going on, Nabal about to get us killed. And she's like, wait a minute. So verse 18, when you jump down to verse 18, it says, Abigail wasted no time. She quickly gathered 200 loaves of bread, two wineskins full of wine, 5 sheep that had been slaughtered. She got some grain, some raisins, and some fig cakes. She packed all this stuff up on the donkey, and she didn't tell Nabal where she was going or what she was doing. So she rides on this donkey and takes this stuff to David, and she begins to intercede on Nabal's behalf. It says in verse 24, she fell at his feet and said, I accept all blame in this matter, my lord. Please listen to what I have to say. So she humbles herself in front of David for this crazy husband that she got. And let's see which other verse that I wanted to. I'll get to it. So anyway, let's talk about Abigail. So basically, some things that we can learn and gain from Abigail. She was a married woman to a mean, crazy, drunk man, but she took her vows seriously. She did not leave her husband despite his sinful ways. She was sensible and beautiful, and she was punctual. We saw in verse 18. She heard what's going on. She like, okay, let me see what I can do. And it says she wasted no time. And so we also see that she was a prepared woman. She packed this food up and she took it to David herself. She didn't send no servant. She went to him herself, and she's like, look, David, I'm so sorry. My husband is crazy. Don't pay no attention to him. But then when she gets to David, she humbles herself and she accepts the blame for her crazy husband. We see that she basically saved 2 men. She saved David from letting his anger kill many people. And for that, he was very grateful for her. He thanked her for stopping him from taking matters in his own hands. And then she saved her husband and herself and the people that, was whatever, their workers or whoever. She saved a lot of people through this. And the last thing that stood out, she was rewarded. And I say that because after she had went and did all of this, taking the food and pleading on his behalf, she goes back home, but the time wasn't right to tell Nabal because he didn't know that she was gone. So she didn't tell him until the next day when he was sober. And as a result, he has a stroke, and 10 days later, the Lord strikes him dead. So I do believe that Abigail was rewarded for her loyalty to God. And I think that, God's like, let me remove this crazy person from her life. And, she goes on to marry David. So, but this is the thing that I wanted to say to make it apply to us. Abigail looked beyond her situation. I don't know what situation you're in today, sister, but look beyond it and look at God in your situation. Ask him, how can I serve you right where I am right now? Like in this place, whatever I'm going through, how can I serve you? Um, and let's be like Abigail. Abigail was a sensible woman. Let's be sensible women. Let's be committed to our husbands no matter what. Let's be humble before God and be prepared to fight the enemy in all circumstances, and especially for our family, because he is trying to tear up so many marriages and so many homes. And it's near and dear to my heart. Like, fight, ladies. It says, resist the devil and he will flee. Resist that junk he's trying to put in your head. And pray over your family and plead for the man that God has placed you with. Pray for his life, that he will be who God called him to be. And I do believe that the Lord will reward our obedience and our loyalty to him no matter what situation we are in. So that was the message for today. Like I said, this was just a little bit different. I may do a profile on a woman maybe once a month. I don't want to get off task from the bites. I thank you for listening, and I will see you on the next one.